Therefore, you see, the proverb of Solomon, a wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Talking about two groups of people. One group makes the father glad. The other group make the mother heavy, sorrowful. Bow down with sorrow, heaviness. One major reason why the guy who succeed, and the one who fails is this. It's called consecration. You cannot succeed on a cause you are not consecrated to, Christianity included. And consecration has two branches: dedication and sanctification. Consecration means, sometimes when they are ordaining somebody, they say, we're consecrating him into the ministry. That means we are giving him over to the ministry. We consecrated the pulpit to the church. We give it over to the church. That's what you see in the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 19. If ye be willing and obedient, yes, I eat the good of the land. If ye be willing and obedient, yes, I eat the good of the land. That means if you are yielded and useful. The profiting of this pulpit that has been consecrated to this church can only come to reality by means of it being constantly here and it being constantly cleaned. If it is not here constantly, it is not useful. If it is here constantly and it is not clean, it is still useless. A number of times before, not now, I've come and I've seen, when somebody is preaching, you can see now from Sunday, you see spittle travels. They split over this place. After some time, just like your phone, check your phone. After some time, you see the screen of your phone is dirty. How did it become that? Because you keep talking and you're spitting on it. And it's forming some unsavory images around it. And then you need something to clean it. So the pulpit must be here constantly. That is dedication. The pulpit must be clean. That is sanctification. Whether it is football or music or anything in this life, to succeed in anything, you must be 100% consecrated. That's the reason why they ask Jesus, which of the commandment is the great commandment? Is it not Matthew 22? He said, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul, all thy mind, all thy might. And he said, the second is like unto it, thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself. Then the question you'll be asking is that, so what remains for me? Because anything that is not 100% in what it is given to cannot profit what it is given to. I've been engaged. I didn't mean a relationship. I mean engaged to a girl before in this city that was engaged to me and engaged to two other people. One was in this city, worked with Bro Baxter somewhere. Another one was in our country. And I didn't even know that one has gone to the father and paid some lobola. Like he's laughing. Because you see, when you come to this country, we don't know who you are anymore. And we were living in the same compound. One day, I finished service. A woman was in the service where we lived. There was a hall there. And I was going upstairs my house. And that girl was going to her own apartment. And I was telling one sister who came from outside to come and worship with us, I said, that's my fiancé. And the sister said, your fiancé? I didn't know that the younger brother of the sister was another fiancé that was living very close to GMIT. But I felt it. 7 days after I started relationship with her, I told her, I said, I don't want. Go. Like he said, just like that. You cannot do that. The begging was too much. I said, I'm not interested. She bought me some gift. I said, take, please, please, please. I don't do this kind of a thing. But I've entered this. There must be a way of sorting it out. One guy called Olivier. This guy was into gas. Adjusted his glasses one day. He was a little older than me. And he looked at me. And he said, Pastor, if an ordinary person is doing this thing, it will be okay. But somebody like you, I said, what is it? I said, I'm only engaged to a girl. He said, no, he said, not this kind of a girl. See, he's from Cameroon. I said, what do you mean? Me, I didn't know. Who is as blind as God's servant? That's the reason why all the times, you children of God, especially women, you never know who a person is except to have somebody to help you check them out. That was the mistake I made in the first marriage. I was still going to make it. And sometimes I will call her. We finish fellowship. I just discovered that this is up here. I just wanted to ask her something. I just discovered the phone is off. We're living in a big house that house about 300 people. I'm on the 4th floor. She's on the 3rd floor. 2nd floor is where we hold the services because it's a big hotel that the government put us. I'm a little wise. So I call her, she's not picking. Then I begin to text her, and I have something on my text message that when it is delivered, it must give me. Sometimes it's around 2:30 a.m. that it will be delivered. So I will now sit down at the reception of the hotel. Then a car will now bring her. Where are you coming? I didn't do anything. I just put my head on his chest. Nothing. Sometimes 3 days I don't see her. And I be begging, I'm begging you, are a pastor, please forgive. I knew that thing was going nowhere. I was just looking for the time that I would burst the bubble. I knew it was not going anywhere. With one heart, how do you serve 3 people? They tell me I've done more than that before. What's the issue? Human beings exist. Now, among the 3 of us, there was nobody to marry her. Nobody can trust that kind of a girl. Nobody. I was the least among them because I won't use her. The rest of them used and dumped her. They used her, they did everything. I didn't have my name on the list, no. Because it's marriage I was looking for. I just discovered every time I took her to the registry in Galway. I said, okay, let us call your father. And I said, you cannot call my father like that. I said, who is he? That we cannot call. Are you listening to what I'm saying now? You cannot fully profit in a thing that you're not 100% in. Therefore, the greatest success factor of the first one, the wise one that makes the father glad, that produces result in his life, and the greatest undoing of the other one is consecration or lack of consecration. I'm drawing a parallel between this that I'm saying and the kingdom of heaven. You cannot profit with God except you are totally consecrated to Him. It is not possible. That's why a lot of people see. Let's see Ezekiel 14:14. God talks about some people with glow in His eyes, with alacrity, with a lot of joy in His voice. Why does He talk about them like that? Why do they have that status? Why do they have that stand before him? And there's no difference between the Jews and the Greek. The same Lord, overall, is rich unto all that call upon his name. God began to tell me, he said, I've never created any person specially. I created all human beings equal. But how they relate with me determines whether they become special or they become rejected. Anybody can become a special vessel in the hand of God. Special miracles God began to work special miracles in the hand of Paul when he stayed in Ephesus for 2 whole years teaching. And the Bible said the whole of Asia, diamondly grew the word of God and prevailed everywhere. And special miracles, because of dedication, special miracles were wrought from the hands of Paul, that by means of handkerchief and aprons, demons were cast out and healings happened from a man who consecrated with one leg in dedication and another leg in sanctification. I'm going to touch on them. That's the reason why you see, I don't commit myself to people that I don't see the content of consecration on. I was talking to my daughter during the day, say, we have been coming to the choir, me and Renee, and whatever. I say, you can't bamboozle me, you can't do anything, no. I say, I put you on that test. It might take 5 to 6 months of seeing you coming to the choir without singing every day, and you are coming to the. I say, but you and Renee, you have not done it. I've not rejected you. It's not about knowing how to sing. It's about knowing whether you'll be able to stand the test of time. You can't walk with me. I look very simple. You can't walk. Every little thing you go away. Paul told them, he said, Mark cannot walk with us. For whatever reason, we got to the work and he left off from work and went back. He said he cannot walk. But after many years, he became very stable. He said, bring John Mark for me, for he is profitable. If he was not profitable for ministry, Paul did not still want him. How do you become profitable? He said, give your whole self to all these things, that your profiting may appear to all men. Okay? If I have to go, I've never gone on holiday. If I have to go anywhere for the gospel, I think. What about the next person that wants to be blessed through me? Who will I leave the Bible study with? Who will I leave the Sunday service with? I've been like, I'm supposed to be in Kida this Friday to Sunday, and I'm just thinking. I say, I'm building something about spiritual warfare. Why do I want to live it? I want to take people to a particular level so that I bust the bubble before I say that. So I'm still contemplating. A person who is not dedicated, anything sift him. My mother cannot sift me. My father cannot sift me. After they try everything they could do and they discovered they could not sift me, they left me. And I now became somebody who is feeding them. You must be a person of strong will when it comes to the things of God. Totally dedicated. Every little shedding of tears from your mom to control you, you are out, down. In River Levy, or in the valley of decision, valley of dry bones. There comes a time. You see, they could be taking care of you from around age 1, age 2. From around age 16, you must begin to develop your own personal will. When it comes to following the Lord Jesus Christ, David killed his Goliath at 17 by personal decision. His father would not have allowed him to go there. His brother said, who did you leave the small sheep, the few sheep we left you with? Who did you leave them with? I know the pride of your heart. He left his brother. He said, is there not a cause? Is there not a reason? He moved somewhere else. Somebody will be 22 years old. They say, my mommy said, I said, is brain working? No, I don't know whether brain is working. This thing that I'm saying is life. Put my face on it. Spread it all across Ireland. I listen to my own mom. Your mom will be saying it. I listen to my own mom and my own dad. And I'm looking at your life. I say, Mom, you listen. And your life is like this. I don't think the two of us need to listen to her. I think I need to listen to God. You know, sometimes when they say, if you don't do traditional wedding, it will happen to you and happen to you. I say, 75% of wedding in Galway, they are not with themselves anymore. And all of them did traditional. They even kill so many cows. They even pay more than enough money. And yet they are not with each other. All the taxi drivers are sleeping with people on the taxi rack. Yes. My daughter wanted to do interview at TE. And I drop her, and I saw a man, old man with white hair. Immediately he has started asking for the number of my daughter, 19-year-old. He's already asking for the number. And he has wife at home. Maybe he's a grandpa. And he said, let us do it the way they do it so that it can be the way they do. How did you do it? And when I wanted to do my wedding, and they discovered I didn't go to all the traditions, they thought I was ashamed. Ashamed of what? They don't even know the kind of heart that I have. One of them told me, I will not come to the wedding. I said, you want me to be like you? You were pregnant when you wanted to do your own. You were pregnant. I said, how did you know? I said, you saw me the video. This is the way you are. Praising the Lord always. So you want me to be sleeping with my own also because I fear my daddy. Or I fear your daddy. My heart is totally dedicated to what I know. Only when God presents a truth that is bigger than that I bow down to it. What you are doing as a teenager is what will work for you in your 30s. What you are doing in the 20s is what works for you in your 40s. So I don't care. I say, yes, family is everything. Stay and die there. You're free. Pastor Chris said, I will go into my... what else like? I will go into my uncle's car as a teenager and I'll be meditating. He will bring me out and beat me. I know you're so stubborn. I know you're so stubborn. I don't want to. If you want to drive the car, I said, no, I didn't want to drive the car. I just wanted to meditate personally. He said, I thank God I started early. He said, all these things people are talking about, I started early. That's why I'm reaping the fruit right now. Your heart must be made up. Your heart, your soul, your mind. This God I want to follow. How do I? If you don't follow him with the strength of your youth, as an old man, you'll be too feeble to make any decision. I was listening to something from Pastor Kumuyi many years ago, and he said, some of you, I was very young as he said, some of you, your mother-in-law will come around, and you just got married, and your mother-in-law comes around, and it's a Sunday, and he said, I am not going to church, and I need the wife at home with me to be able to. He said, that is the day, if you really, it doesn't say really, he said, if you really loves the Lord and serves the Lord, you say, Mama, if you're not coming to church with me, I am going to the church. You meet me in the church, or we go together. Otherwise, I come back, I'll meet you at home. He said, don't let me deceive you. Nothing will happen to you, child of God. Nothing will happen to you. Some of you will write us notes to say, my mother-in-law is at home and I'm cooking for him. Sunday morning takes the place of God. Look at how big that mother-in-law is. That is not thinking by herself as he's coming that these people will go to church. Because of mother-in-law, Tuesday, you're at home. They are trying to try you whether you really believe in that thing. They know you don't believe it when they can stop you. You don't believe in a jack of it. We have seen highly placed fellowship leaders. And they just say, oh no, it's taking your time. We're going to change your university. We just want you to go out of it. And they left fellowship, left everything to follow the mom and the dad. That was the end of their missionary journey in life. You see Arome, you see Sama, you see Oroko. It is university that made them. It's from the university they became who they are, including All of them that you call Lazarus. University. That's where the God made what God is doing with them now. Including Jariese. They say Jariese used to have large crowd in the university. That people will be lining up for counseling. He was during counseling, he met his wife. His wife was one of the people who came for counseling. Dedication. The first branch of consecration is dedication. You are totally dedicated. The mother of Bill Gates, who was the richest man in the world at a time, maybe he's still the fourth richest man, Bill Gates of the Microsoft. Sometimes he will just disappear and be at the store under the staircase, meditating and just thinking. And sometimes the mother will meet him there and say, but why are you all over this place? The guy from young age was already meditating on how to make discovery of all these things. He said one day he asked the mother. He said he asked his mother, say, Mother, don't you think? Mother, don't you think? Some of you don't want to offend nobody. If you're truly dedicated to a thing, you are going to offend many bodies. Many bodies are going to be offended.